They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. They feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly.
What's up, world? Welcome back to another great episode of Express Yourself with XPress. You guys know who I am. If you don't, I'm your humble host, XPress, reporting live from Network Studios as always. Definitely want to shout out my proud sponsors, Shoe Pugs, thank you guys. King Vision, thank you very much. And also Self Love. We're going to get some more stuff up here because, I've been taking it home and wearing it because I love it too much, And then, I got Self Love Sunday, so it goes with it. But yeah, we're going to get some more merch up here. And usually I wait to give out merch, but I'm an individual who can't, wait for anything. So, bam, just like on Oprah, you get some socks.
Oh my God.
You get some socks.
Yay.
Oh, you get some socks.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's so cute.
Yep, you get some socks from my proud sponsor, Shoe Pugs. Yeah. That's right. I'm giver. And you guys know how I start off every episode, except for Kenyon's. But this episode's expression of the week is creativity. I feel like this individual has creativity out of this world, but the main thing is just being full in spirit of who you are as a creative, and also leading with that. Leading with love, because that's what you get in return. But just being really full focus on your creativity and your creative side. Don't allow anyone to stunt your growth, because honestly, they're not the one that's watering your plants anyways. But just be full in your creative side, because this individual's creative side is why we're here today. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome in Miz.Clover.
Hello.
No. Oh yeah, we gonna definitely Let's get it right. No, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
No,
Thank you.
Pleasure's definitely all mine. And let's go ahead and cut the nervousness. Let's start this off with letting people know where you're originally from and some of your family upbringing.
Yeah. Originally from Central LA.
Okay.
So I worked my way slowly up to the valley, but the heart of LA was pretty much where I grew up, went to school there, went to college, had my first heartbreak there,
Oh.
all of that. And then I guess over the years, slowly moved around LA County, lived in East LA. I've also lived in West Hollywood while I was going to school out there. And then eventually landed up here in the valley in Northridge, now in Van Nuys. So it's all over LA County, I guess.
Oh, I understand that way too. Compton kid, bounced around right before high school started. We moved out to the IE. So I went to high school in Pomona.
Oh.
And then from there, I was just all over the place, and then ended up finding myself in Sherman Oaks for a good period of time. And yeah, now I am in Linwood, basically up the street from Compton, back home.
Oh my gosh.
Back home and up the street from King Taco.
Hey.
Yeah. I've been trying to, no more than twice a week. You don't want to burn yourself out on something that's too convenient, and then it's an inconvenience because it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
So, family upbringing. Let's talk about that. Type of household were you brought up in?
Oh yeah, it was a very religious household actually. I
Okay.
grew up, both parents being very hyper religious. My mom grew up Catholic, and then
I
she
understand that.
became Christian when she married my dad because he was primarily Christian. And he was also a pastor too, so I was the pastor's child.
Oh, we're gonna do some digging with that.
Yeah. I was in church a lot growing up. Listened to a lot of church music, so I didn't really get much exposure to regular music until I was quite a few years older. And then after that happened, my eyes felt like they were finally open for the first time. But I have two other siblings that I'm really close to, but I have other half siblings that I don't really communicate with. It was very messy family, I am Salvadoran.
All families come with some dysfunction.
Yeah,
Hands
and
down.
this one certainly did, but it gave me a very colorful and interesting childhood. Um, I grew up, like I said, around the Central LA area, so I was around lots of different culture. It was like just cultures from every single walk of the earth was
Mm-hmm.
there. I grew up with a lot of Filipino people. I grew up with
Mm-hmm.
Indian people, other Asian people. I grew up with all types of people. So, um, it didn't become clear to me that my like upbringing was so unique and different until I got a little older. But I would say, yeah, it took a long time before I had any real independence,
Mm.
because of the religious household thing.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
I was definitely gonna ask, coming up in a religious household, did you find yourself being a rebel without a cause? Or did you just, follow the guidelines?
I guess once I was old enough to understand that I had a choice, that's finally when I broke out of that like mindset where everything was always, well, this is the answer. We already
Mm-hmm.
have the answer. You don't need to ask the question because it's already here. But then I started asking questions about this answer, and they were like,
Mm-hmm.
everything started falling apart at the seams, and I stopped wanting to go to church. I stopped wanting to listen to all the church music. Um, and then also my brother, because I was really close to him, um, he sort of opened me up to a lot of the worldly music, as my dad loved to put it when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Listened to Linkin Park was
Oh,
like the first
well,
rock band I ever listened
did
to.
we all?
Yeah,
Even
Linkin
when there was
Park.
a crossover with them and Jay-Z. I'm just saying,
So wild.
Hey, I'm just saying, you bringing up some
Yeah.
good times.
Yes. And Evanescence, I guess, was
Evanescence. Oh,
another.
don't. I'm gonna go to sleep so then you can wake me up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. The Daredevil movie. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Yeah. 90s.
Yeah,
Definitely. You could tell I'm a 90s baby just by hearing that.
I'm
Um,
giving my age away a little bit then.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, just like wine.
Exactly. We get better as we age, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem too, funny enough. He was another one. So I guess you could say that even from the beginning there was a variety of music that came into my life, and so that's why I was never really trapped in a specific genre until I got a little older and broodier and
Mm-hmm.
just, came into my rebellious teen stage where everything was just like poopy. I didn't want to deal with my parents anymore. Um and I was very gothy.
Oh, you did the goth
Yeah.
side, not the emo side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could say I was
It,
very like sensitive too. That's
or more so in tune with your emotions.
yeah.
How about we say that better instead of saying sensitive? Because some people say that about me. Like, oh, you care too much, and it's like, I would take that a little more different, but it's like, oh, I care too much because you don't care enough. See how that works now?
Mhm. I agree.
Perspective.
Definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
More people need to care instead of being apathetic to everything. Apathy is not good, people.
Right.
It's
It
not
really,
good.
it really isn't.
Yeah.
So, when you came into your own sound as far as music goes, who would you say was the core sound that was really bleeding out in your head? Now, you did mention Eminem, Evanescence, and Linkin Park, but what was it really for you that made you feel like music was something that you should pursue?
Um I mean, I looked up to Amy Lee quite a lot.
Hmm.
She was I think because she was the first vocalist that I ever heard singing the types of lyrics that she was singing, wearing the types of clothes she was wearing, and it was such a different experience for me that her voice too really captivated me.
Hmm.
Um and I think even now sometimes when I listen to my own songs, I'm like, do I hear a little bit of Evanescence in there?"
Yeah,
Oh my god.
you definitely give the vibes.
Yeah. And but it's just in there. She was the first singer I think that ever sparked my real interest in singing. Um, but I didn't really know that I wanted to go into music until I got chosen, I guess, through I don't know if they do that anymore, where they like go into the elementary school classrooms and they choose all the little kids for the choir class.
Hmm.
They're like,
They
okay, we're
definitely
gonna
still
have you
do.
come up to the class and
Hmm.
sing this little verse here. And then after they listen to each one of you like singing it together, they're like, okay, you go, you go and you go. And the other kids in the class are like, why do they get to go and I don't go?
Because you don't have it.
Yeah.
It's called it. You don't have
I'm sorry to say.
it.
But after that happened and I went into choir when I was in elementary school, I started singing for the first time. I mean, I guess you could say I was singing all the time, but it wasn't like really guided. And so
Mm-hmm.
once I was there and it was guided singing, people took notice of that. Even though I didn't think anything of it, I was just doing what they told me. There were a lot of kids and like teachers who would tell me, "Wow, you have a really pretty singing voice. Like it sounds really nice." And so it was, I guess, through like a little bit of praise and motivation that I was like, "Oh, I maybe I should like sing more." Yeah,
Absolutely.
it took
And
off.
I'm glad it continued because, again, your sound is amazing. Your style is amazing. It goes hand in hand. So, again, the creative juices is flowing for you. So keep letting it flow. It's a breath of fresh air for sure. And again, we're just getting started here. So the next question that I really want to ask you, it's a little bit of a turn because I feel like a lot of people, like I usually have a lot of male guests. I have some female guests as well, and I'm gonna be having more. But when it comes to the industry, there's two different perspectives that you have to go through. You have the male perspective, female
Mm-hmm.
perspective. Can you talk about some of the things that you as a woman had to overcome early in the industry?
Yeah. Um, I think that you really hit the nail on the head there because it
I
is
felt it.
two completely different experiences. I've talked to other artists that I've gotten to know over the past few years, and of course, like their experiences can be amazing and then also heartbreaking at the same time. But I would say one of the first things I learned very early on is that I needed to be very careful about believing everything that people say
Mm-hmm.
because you might be thinking that someone that you met has the greatest intention for you and that they see something great, and that might be true. But there is also sometimes, unfortunately, an underlying ulterior motive to someone approaching you and saying, "Hey, I see something really valuable that you're doing right now. I want to get involved." And then finding out later on that it was motivated by other factors in which they wanted more than just working on music, which, I mean, you hear it all the time, but it is so unfortunate when it happens to you personally when
Mm-hmm.
you're dealing with producers, engineers, other male artists too. Because it doesn't, I don't want to say that it was necessarily one type of person. I think it happened in different situations with people that were offering different things, whether it was like beats, whether it was studio or studio time or whatever it is. That was, I think, I learned that lesson very fast.
Yeah, I'm very aware of circumstances that happen in studios from male's perspective and hearing from females' perspectives. And one of the main things that I definitely wanted you to talk about too is just let's cut the shit. Some of the bullshit that you have to like really overcome just to be respected as an artist. Yeah, it's clearly you're a woman. You know, you look great and everything, but you're there because of what you do as a profession. So, do
Yes.
you find it hard when people are testing your professionalism because they're not being professional?
Yeah, I mean it's happened. Um I think it happened more when I first started because obviously I didn't really have anything to show for myself. And the only thing that I could show people was maybe if I was singing on the spot or something like that. But
Mhm.
that can only go so far. Um, that people didn't take me seriously or didn't think that when I was telling them, "Oh yeah, I'm a singer," they were like, "Okay, sure."
Just yeah, it's
Can you
like,
sing on
oh,
this right now? Like, can you sing Mariah Carey? Like, that's Mariah Carey. I
yeah,
mean,
there's levels to
is there
this.
a serious question?
Right, right. No, because it's always been one of my things to actually like not to tell the dark sides of the situation, but just tell some of your trials and tribulations of things that you had to persevere over and what kept you going. Because some people they will be discouraged by those moments that people are testing their professionalism. and not being professional, and they will quit. They'll just say, "Hey,
Yes.
this is not for me. I'll figure something else out," and stuff like that. What do you say to a person who's in that moment right now? What should they do to persevere over that and keep going?
I think taking a hard look at yourself and what's driving you is really important.
Hmm.
Um, if it's really motivated by the love of music or if it's motivated by your perception of what you're going to get out of it.
Hmm.
Um, because the thing that has always pushed me, even when the results weren't there and I wasn't seeing the return that I was wanting to see,
Hmm.
um, it was never about that for me. It was always and has always been about this calling to just make music and to create.
Hmm.
That is literally the only thing that's going to keep you going. Because there's going to be moments where you have to choose whether you're going to go and party or something or you're going to go to the studio and record something. Which one are you going to choose? And if you choose to go to the party, well, I mean, that's going to be fun for the night, but it also kind of shows that there's something missing in that equation of
Hmm.
like whether you really want it because you love doing it or is it something that you want because you think it's going to lead you to something. I mean, this sounds so cliche, but
Oh yeah,
it's so true what they say about it's all about the journey, not about the destination.
1,000%.
Because once you're there, like, yeah, what are you going to do once if you do end up getting it? Are you going to be happy because you did all of this work and now you're like reaping the benefits out of it? Um, I think typically people who go in that direction that they do music because they just want to make money rich like quickly and
Hmm.
get super rich or whatever end up finding at the very end of that journey that they're super unhappy and that they don't actually appreciate everything that they have
Hmm.
because they did it for the wrong reasons.
That's a lack of passion within the purpose.
Mhm.
And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. You have to have full passion in your purpose or you won't really get the full benefit of it. So it's not about doing it when the lights are brightest. It's about doing it when it's the darkest and no one's around you to cheer you on. It's about having integrity, doing what you say you're going to do way past it being the time that you expect things to come to you. So
Absolutely.
I'm just really big on that because a lot of people always ask me like, "Dang, dude, like the question that I get all the time is like, how long have you been podcasting for?" And it's like, I got recordings in my phone from like 2016, 2017, just having real conversations with real people that can help the next person. But it was also me reflecting, and I say reflecting, not projecting, just reflecting on not trying, working towards getting people to stop suffering in silence and stop hiding their hurt so they can heal from it and then
Yeah.
persevere over whatever the trials and tribulation is and really have passion for the purpose. So
Yeah.
so when it comes to your passion for your purpose, what really motivates you?
Hmm. What motivates me? Well, um, this sounds super cheesy
Oh,
too. I'm full
I'm
of cheese.
I'm
It's so funny.
I'm cheesy. I'm corny. You want corn on the cob, corn in the cup, candy corn.
All of that,
I'm
all of
all of
that.
it, all of it. So please.
Well, I mean, for a very long time, I have always felt like within myself that there was a purpose, in the thing that was going to make me the happiest. And so the thing that made me the happiest was singing and making music. And I was like, okay, well, then if this is what makes me the happiest, then this must be my purpose. And once I accepted that, there was like some kind of connection or click that happened in my brain where it was like, okay, now that you know what your purpose is, now it's time for you to relay this type of message that you have to the world.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, that has stuck in my head and it keeps replaying over and over again every single time I've thought about quitting. It's like, I don't want to do it. I don't think this is going anywhere. Is this working? Am I even good enough to do this? And then I'm like, well, remember, you have a purpose. You have a message.
That's the everyday mindset of a creative. One thing I've been realizing also as a creative is like, dang. Well, the three things I say that we all should stop asking ourselves: Am I enough? What am I doing wrong? And why not me? Stop, because everything happens at a point of time. You keep putting the passion into your purpose, you'll start seeing the fruits of your labor. But like my grandfather said, keep faith in the truth and stay true to your faith. That'll get you through any and everything. And since we're talking about any and everything, I have an amazing, amazing segment called Blast from the Past,
Oh.
where I do some digging, and you've done a lot of incredible things with some incredible people as well. So I have some images here that I would like for you
Oh my
to
gosh.
talk about and divulge with us.
Oh,
Boom.
Clover's Field.
Let's
Yes.
talk about the inspiration behind this amazement. And just like, again, the creativity and everything is just impeccable.
Yeah. Universal Records. He was 80. He's actually the person I worked with to make this little project happen. He was just somebody that I ended up randomly connecting with. I think it must have been through social media. I can't remember specifically whether it was Instagram or something else, but um, it was through other mutual musicians that they found my sound and were like, "Oh my God, you have such an amazing voice. I want to make something with you." And I was like, "I don't know who you are, and I don't have that much music out. So yes, let's do it."
Let's do it.
Again, another one of those situations where like you just have to put faith in things sometimes. But seriously, listen to your intuition.
Yes.
Your intuition will tell you if something is right and when something is wrong. But everything actually worked out really well with him. I made a lot of really awesome neo soul music with him. This one had 2 songs that we worked on like quite a few years ago. One that's called Endless Fun and another one that's called Friends.
Yeah.
Endless Fun is a little bit of like a dark take on my, I guess, struggles and like moments where I've been in the mindset of like, God, life sucks. Why can't it be over? you know? And then dealing with those or processing those feelings and then having to pick myself up out of that dark place and being like, okay, well, what do we do with this? What do I do with this feeling? I just made a song with it. So that's how I got over a lot of that. And then Friends was essentially about a very toxic relationship that I had with someone who at the time I really should not have been messing with, but it really did inspire me to write some cool lyrics. So
Well, you gotta make a mistake to learn from a mistake. So that's all that is. I'm
Yeah.
just hoping that you didn't make the same mistake twice.
No.
That means
No.
you learn.
I did.
Perfect.
I am very much wiser now than I was then.
Great, great. Also, a tidbit, just like the word trying, we're not doing that. Don't ever label anything else that you do as little.
Oh,
Because if you do, then everyone else will. So I don't want to hear this little project, no.
it was my big Clover's
There
Field
we go.
project.
There we go. All right. I got some stuff. I do some digging. Like I said, artwork is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you thought I do
You
this
went
for
really
fun?
far
You think I
down.
do this for? This is what I do.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I thought too. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
this was a pretty cool photo shoot I did with an old friend. I actually, well, he was dabbling in photography and I needed some pics because this was kind of like in the beginning of when I started to put music out more seriously.
Embrace your music more.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wanted to I mean, I've always had kind of like a darker take to my fashion. It's always had, I guess you could say, more gothy style.
I'm glad I stayed in the dark one for this.
I was gonna tell you,
dark
I
color
feel
for this
like
episode.
it suits the
Yeah, I was about to be all
aesthetic.
bright and stuff. Like, nope. Right
I
tones.
look like angel devil situation over
right.
here. But yeah, this was in like the middle of some random, I think it was angels. What is it called? It was like a little forest
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Went in there. It was super cold. I took my shoes off for this, like walking on sticks and stuff. It really hurt.
I'm sure.
And I had this crown. I had candles with me, and I was like, "All right, let's do this." And we went into the trees, and this was something that he ended up taking a pic of when like the moon was right behind us. And this light isn't coming from a light that he had. It was actually
In
just the
moonlight.
moonlight
Yeah.
like shining on
I was
me.
in the comments below. I was reading.
Yeah.
I do homework.
Yeah.
So like it's
You already knew.
it's my pride and pleasure to be able to
I'm amazed.
discover things. Thank you, thank you. You know, some people say, "Oh, he's a great journalist." And it's like, what? I don't even have a journal. Let's go.
What is
Let's talk
what is
about.
this? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
orchestrated sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is Eman and Jose from Orchestrated Sounds. This is in their studio out in LA,
Mhm.
which I'm actually meeting with them pretty soon too, because we have another project that we're working on, which is a lot bigger. But um this was right before we dropped the Five Leaves EP. And they told me the same thing, like what I was talking about before, like, hey, we need pictures to like show that we did this together.
Yeah.
So
Evidence.
yeah,
No
picture
pictures,
it didn't
no
happen.
proof.
Yeah,
Right?
everyone says.
Pixar didn't happen.
Right.
Exactly. So we ended up just taking a couple of pics inside, just inside their studio, with a mic there, and have a little like serious look on my face. I'm like, I
Mhm.
want to be taken seriously. This is my
I'm
serious
trying
artist face.
to.
Yeah, this was
No,
fun. That was
that's
cool.
dope. That's dope. Like I said, I do some homework and stuff, some digging. This right here,
Oh my god.
I definitely want you
This one's like,
to talk
there
to
is
us
no
about.
editing on this picture, by the way.
That's
This is just how the picture came out.
Yeah.
Well, it's the cover of my Five Leaves EP.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine who was like this amazing guitarist, I was hanging out with them this night, and I was like, look, I'm releasing this EP soon. I need to go take pictures. And like, I got you. I have this really awesome camera. Let's go. And I was like, all right. So he took me to this huge parking lot area that had graffiti all over the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they had been doing some kind of construction or something. So they had, well, initially we took random pictures along the walls and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I guess they're cool, you know. And then I saw this thing and I was like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I don't know, I guess they're doing construction. So I was like, let me see if maybe we can take some pictures on this.
Those creative juices was flowing.
Literally. So as you can tell, there's the little poles and stuff that
Mhm.
stop the cars from going all the way through. So I used that as a little step ladder and then
Okay.
climbed up onto it.
Good thing you didn't bust your ass.
Yeah, I had these really cool boots.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, the thick platform.
Mhm.
That's really what held me
It's
together.
like a
'cause
loaf of bread down there,
Yeah.
like just.
those are super cool. I miss those boots so much. I can't even remember where I got them. Wish? Maybe? I don't know.
No, I love the creativity behind it. And it was just like another one that I was like, yeah, I need her to talk about that.
That was a car light too. I forgot to mention. The reason it's so bright right there is because I was like, you can't see anything. He goes, hold on. He pulls the car around and then he shines the light over to me. He's perfect. And then he started taking pictures.
And you shot this in a parking lot. It reminds me of I did the Everest College commercial. You spend all day watching TV, but I did that one and done promo for my podcast. So I just basically, because I know it by heart, basically just remixed the whole thing about my podcast, and I post it practically every Sunday to remind people.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, I'll show
Dude,
you.
it's so crazy how like little places that you would never even expect, you end up, they're little treasures.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had, the hat to the side, white shirt, had to tuck the chain because he didn't have a chain on. Looked exactly like him and just have fun with it and it was just overly creative that day.
Yeah.
I felt like it was something because I don't want to say reinventing myself, but I'm gonna use something that I was gonna tell you later on, but right now,
Hmm.
I feel like with all the trials and tribulations you've been through, you're like a phoenix. You rise and prevail over them. So that was something that I had to come into in that terms. I was basically claiming myself to be solo. I was coming off my old podcast with a couple other people that I was, that I had as co-hosts. And it
Yeah.
was just like, I am rising over the situation and I need some content that's going to slap people in the faces. And because I just watched too much TV at a point in time and the commercials by heart, that's the one I had went with. And it's been
Love
working.
that.
It's been working,
There are some commercials too that I have memorized because obviously, like when you're a 90s kid,
Hmm.
you just sat in front of the TV sometimes for hours. And so, most of the time, when you're in between like watching a show that's like maybe 20 minutes,
Hmm.
everything else in that 30 or 1 hour segment is commercials.
For reals. Some of the TV shows that you're watching is not the 30 minutes it's supposed to be. It's probably like 17 minutes at the max with commercial breaks in between.
Yeah,
Everybody got to pay their bills, and that's what the commercials are for. So
I get it. I get it. Ooh,
let's talk about it.
yes.
Yes.
This is House of Clover.
Mm-hmm. Talk
I
about the inspiration and how patient you were with making this,
hmm
but also what it represents for you.
Yeah. This was another project I did with Universal Records.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the whole idea, the whole concept was I want to make a house EP. I told him I love electronic music. I love house. There was a point in time where that was all I was listening to was EDM, lo-fi music,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe industrial music here and there.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so I gave him the idea and he's like, "All right, cool. Just give me some time. I'm gonna come up with some beats and stuff." And then he sent me, I swear to you, like 25 beats or something. I was
Ooh.
like, "Oh my God. Okay."
Is that overwhelming as an artist, or do you feel like you just have a larger blank canvas to work with?
To me at least, I know there's some I talk to other artists who are like, "Yeah, the more beats the better." I have like all of these ideas and stuff. With me, when I have more beats, I'm like, oh snap. Okay, I have 30 minutes right now. I have to use those 30 minutes to listen to all of these beats now. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I eventually from there start choosing like which beats really resonate with me. Um, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that like, oh my God, if you send me, 10 or more beats, I'm gonna totally hate you. No. No,
No,
no.
my ears will, but I won't.
Yeah, no, no,
I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm just messing.
It'll just take me a little bit more time to get through everything because I don't like just skipping through tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I like listening to the whole thing because sometimes a song will start slow and then it'll pick up and then you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the greatest thing I've ever heard." But you would have totally missed it if you just stopped in the first 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that all these TikTok kids need to learn.
Not
Come
everything should
on.
be just 15 to 20 seconds. You have to actually allow things to consume it all and then digest it so
Do you
that you
think
can properly assess it.
Led Zeppelin would have
Ooh.
totally not even been a thing if people were like that back in the day,
I
you
mean,
know?
there's a lot of artists that wouldn't have been a thing. It used to be what, 3 verses per track? Now we're lucky if we get 2.
Mhm.
We're lucky if we get 2.
Yeah.
So it's just, the day and age of music, if anything, I would say if we can revert back to what it was, then we'll probably get the results that we want.
Yes.
And then, then the connection will really be there. Because I get it's a business. So everyone's going about it as a professional side. But then it lacks
Mhm.
the real, what we're doing here, the personal side and the real connection.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
think people really need to get back into really defining the passion for their purpose. So they're
Mhm.
not just doing it for the glitz and glamours. They're not living for likes. They're actually living.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Oh, I went on a tangent,
Oh no, we
but
good. We good.
coming back to House of Clover, after I did pick and choose the beats that I really liked,
Mm-hmm.
um, obviously we started getting into the process of making the lyrics, the melodies, and then planning on how we were going to make it happen because we were in completely different states.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to navigate or learn how to navigate a musical relationship that was really far, like a long distance music relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we figured it out. I just had to book some studio time to record the vocals myself and then send the stems over to him so that he could put it all together. That's essentially what we ended up doing for some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually, I think for a lot of the tracks on this EP, we ended up just going with mixing on the spot, like at the studio, and then it was done. Well, Danny Zico, he's
Mm-hmm.
another engineer that I've worked with, and he engineered all the tracks for this. He does an amazing job with vocal production. I mean, he can make anyone sound amazing.
It just helps when you already do. You know, it's not much work for him to do. You know. Yeah.
It helps. It helps if you're a little talented.
You know, don't be so modest. You know.
But yeah, this project was so fun for me. It released something that I had been wanting to do into the universe, in a matter of speaking. So
Mm-hmm.
I created this image here. I wanted it to be more like I'm very much into the stars and like connecting with the universe, meditating. That
Mm-hmm.
sounds really hippie like.
No, you're just really in tone with spirit and
Yes.
spiritual entities.
Yes. So I always try my best to incorporate some of that in the art and also in the music that I make. So I think that's why a lot of people, when they hear my songs, they associate them with like spiritualism, or like I guess my philosophies on life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It like comes across, in everything that I do, intentionally and unintentionally sometimes.
You do it on purpose or you do it by accident. You're
Yeah.
doing it still.
Yeah.
Boom. Which brings us
Yes.
to the current. All right. I have a compound question. One, how did you and Swift Records come together? And two, how lucky do you feel being a part of the situation, but also still being creative in the situation?
Yeah. Well, it actually happened through quite a bit of networking, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up meeting someone named Kearns. I'm sure a lot of the artists up in the valley know his name. He's very active in the underground music scene here in the valley, like quite a few people are. I think him in particular because he connects artists with shows and with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's a lot of people that know him. And I actually met Swift Records and Ruggo through him at one of the shows
Shout
that
out,
we
shout
were
out.
performing. Yeah,
Mhm.
seriously. He's helped a lot. I've made music with him. I'm very grateful for all the work that I've done with him too. That has led me up to, lucky you. And I do feel very lucky. I
Mhm.
think the point of it is that when you make your own luck, in a matter of speaking, you just have to trust that what you're doing is eventually going to lead you to meeting the right people. Just trust that feeling. And everything else really just falls into place after you start putting trust into the universe and being like, I'm going to stop being so concerned with how it's going to happen and just focus on what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And bam, then you meet like really amazing people that see something amazing in you. And Lucky You was made while we were working at a studio. It was like one of those uh, joined studio sessions where there were like a handful of artists. Rogo was there, and essentially they were like, all right, well, we have these beats. There you go. Listen to it and see what you can do. And I was like, all right. This is new and intimidating a little, but let's see what happens. I had gotten there a little late already, so I was like,
Were you fashionably late?
not intentionally, really.
Okay.
It always just happens because I take a long time getting ready. Typical girl.
I'm not gonna say the P word that I used earlier, procrastination. But you know,
You-
I understand.
I like to consider myself a productive
I mean, you're talking to someone who
procrastinator.
changes his outfit about 4 or 5 times a day.
That's
That means 4 or 5 different pair of shoes.
man,
Yeah.
that's
So
kind of cool though.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Thank you to my proud sponsor, Shoe Pugs.
Eh,
You know, King Vision, self love. You guys definitely take great care of me, which is how I'm able to take care of others as well. So
yeah.
you know, I'm very lucky to have them be a part of this, but I was very lucky to come into knowing Ruggo and Pops and stuff like just platonically and genuinely. Like we all met up at a brotherhood what was it, a brotherhood brunch, and we were honored there and everything, and it was just an honor to be around other like-minded individuals that are go-getters. And no lie, and I don't want to say it and take away from this episode because you're amazing, but this kid right here, he's going to be everything and then some. Like Ruggo,
That was
you're the truth, man.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
whoever's lying, keep letting them lie. Because they'll be just showing up at the end saying, dang, I should have just caught on.
Yeah.
So, like, no, it's an honor and a pleasure to be amongst all of you guys, and just, get a true, genuine breath of fresh air from people who really love their craft. So
Yeah.
with you, like, again, this is not even just catchy, it's good feeling vibe, everything. So talk about the process of making that, even though it was just like they just threw a beat and stuff like that. How did your mental makeup go into grind mode at that moment?
Yeah. Well, what led up to it, I guess, was Ruggo and his pops showed up shortly after I did. And
Oh, so that was late too. Cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
they were the
Okay.
most fashionably.
Okay.
No, it was cool. It was cool.
We building bridges, not burning them.
But before that, at the previous show, he had mentioned to me that he was working on like producing beats and stuff, and he's like, "Oh my God, since the last time I heard you, I just thought to myself like, I need to produce something for her to sing on." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't really think anything much of it after that because I didn't see him again, and I wasn't really communicating with him that way. So at the studio, when he showed up, the first thing he said to me was, "I have the beat. I want you to listen to it and let me know how you feel. I just want you to hear it, get a feel for it, and then we'll go from there." And I was like, "All right, cool." So he played the beat, and I was like, "Oh, this is so sweet. I love it." It's such, like you said, it is such a good feeling beat. And
Ooh, la, la, ooh, la,
yeah,
la, la. That's all. That's all I can. Like I'm telling you,
it's so catchy.
it's yes.
He kind of like pushed me into the recording room and was like, "Here, just go in there and just do something.
Yeah,
It
go in
doesn't
there
have
and
to be
get-
anything. Just
Go
like,
get lost in the sauce.
yeah." So I was like, "All right, well, sure. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot."
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm a somewhat of a pushover most of the time, so you can usually nudge me in a certain direction. I'll be like, "All right, I'll
Well,
do it."
this was a great pushover moment.
It was actually. That's how the little melody that plays in the background came about. It was actually just because I went in there and I was like, and I just did that. And then afterwards, when we were done, he was like, "Yeah, that sounds really cool. If you want, you could step out of the room, listen to the song a little, because obviously there were other artists that were there too. So we wanted to give them time and space to work on like stuff that they had going on. So yeah, I had a blankie with me.
A blankie or a snuggie?
It was a blankie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just had to make sure
Establish the difference a little.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because I went out into the little hall that was right in front of the studio, and they had a big couch. So I was like, let me just make myself comfortable and see what happens. He'd already given me a kind of a concept or an idea. He's like, I want something that has something to do with your name. That's something about luck. I don't know, something about luck, whatever. And I was like, all right. And then after a while, the lucky you, lucky me part came out. And of course, he was very, like, try and keep it simple, and then he came out and listened to a little bit of what I had. And then he's like, all right, that's cool. So maybe we can spice it up a little bit and add like a little bit more depth to what you're saying.
Hmm.
And then that's when I wrote the second part of the song. After maybe an hour or so, I was like, okay, I think I feel comfortable enough to go in there and be like, I have something.
Hmm.
Second guess myself like multiple times before doing that. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Stop playing with your gift.
Yes. That's actually something I think a lot of creative people do is second guess themselves. Is
Hmm.
something I'm still learning to stop doing to myself.
Might as well. I understand it.
Trust the process.
We are creatures of habit, but each one can teach one.
Yeah. Well, after that, I went in, and then I told them just play the vocals I did in the background because I have something that I'm gonna do over it. And then once I did the lucky you in between the ooh na na, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I think we have something going. And once everything was put together with, the background vocals, yada yada, I mean, we listened to it over and over again and we were like,
Yeah.
this is dope.
Addicted.
Yeah.
Hmm. You
It was
definitely have
definitely the last song that we were listening to.
you definitely have a
little
cult
bit, so
song with this one for sure.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. We are unfortunately at the positive period of the podcast where I ask each guest if you could either speak to a younger version of you or someone that's in some of the trials and tribulations that you persevered over. What would be your message to that person or to yourself to help them be where you are today?
Well, I'm trying to think of where I guess my biggest insecurity when I was younger. Um, if I could go back in time and speak to my younger self, I would probably tell her that hard times sometimes feel like they last forever, but they don't. They eventually end. And all of the difficult things that you go through are tough, but they are going to build your character and that they're going to build you as a person that is not breakable, that's not shakeable. And even though it might seem like it's just not, difficult circumstances are going to be that way forever, there's a silver lining behind it all. And to use that as fuel and motivation to continue to push forward. Yeah.
Y'all picking up what she's dropping down? I hope so. I hope everybody's picking up what she's dropping down. I am honored, pleased, and it's been a pleasure having you here. Of course, we're going to do a part 2. All my guests need to be repeat offenders here. Because
Yay.
life is constantly revolving around different obstacles, and these moments help other people persevere over them. So, and also inspire. Live to be inspiration to others. It's not all about us.
Yes.
So, with that being said, where can everybody find you and your amazing music?
Yes. Okay, so my music is accessible on all streaming platforms under Miz.Clover.
Mm-hmm.
That's Miz.Clover, Clover. And mostly on Instagram, to be honest. I don't really use other social media. So if there's a Miz.Clover at some point that shows up on Facebook, it is a lie. It's a lie.
I would hope so, because I think that's kind of a little prehistoric, but that's just me.
That would be crazy,
That's
wouldn't
just me, even though I can't log back into my old one for whatever reasons, but that's just me.
it? Yeah.
Alright.
Damn you, Facebook.
Damn you. And again, you guys know who I am. I am your humble host, XPress. Thank you again for tuning in, and see you guys every Taco Tuesday. Peace.
I hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly.